new Social Security bill is out. Take a look. New Social Security bill calls for a study of inflation impact as well as a few other traits to this Social Security bill. I'll give you the latest on that. And just when you think the SSA couldn't stoop any lower, they did the unthinkable to one person on Social Security. I'm going to play the video clip of what happened there, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, Social Security Administration strips benefits from women with Down syndrome. Just when you didn't think that the SSA could get any worse, they did the unthinkable. So what they've done is just horrible, and I'm going to let you be the judge of what happened here. I'm not going to give too many details. Take a look at the video clip and we'll talk about it after.
She is no longer disabled. That is what the Social Security Administration has determined about this Ocala woman who has Down syndrome.
That has not just caused her not to have any money, but also not to have her medical insurance. For 9 months, 9 Investigates, along with our Cox Media Group stations across the country and Health News, have been investigating the failures of Social Security. 9 Investigates, Shannon Butler joining us live in the studio with more on this story. It just seems hard to believe, Shannon.
It is. Jennifer Groover was receiving Social Security since she was 6 years old because she has Down syndrome. But now, 38 years later, Social Security has taken those benefits away. Her only income, because they say there is no evidence or documentation right now saying that she has the disability at all.
Jennifer Groover.
Is that your name?
Yeah.
Jennifer, your parents said you got up early today.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 o'clock usually.
Are you hungry?
No.
Not yet.
All
Does
right.
Dad fix you lunch?
I'll do myself.
Jennifer Groover has lived with her parents her entire life, and most of it on Social Security. But a year ago, her benefits were stripped after the Social Security Administration said there was no evidence she had a disability.
We got one letter that she needed to go to work.
Yeah, they said we'll help her get a job and she can go to work.
She can't barely walk. Her legs and feet are so bad. She's so full of arthritis, and there's no way she could work.
No, she can't.
She doesn't have the mentality to hold a job.
This was the letter the family got in July of 2023, giving them 10 days to respond. And if not, the SSA said it may have to make a, quote, finding of not disabled because of insufficient evidence. The notes from the Groovers say they were unable to reach anyone and say they left 16 messages. And so you called Social Security and said what?
I went down and showed them the letter and asked them to explain it to me. And of course they couldn't, but they just said, oh, yeah, here's why you didn't. We sent you some paperwork to fill out so that we'd have the information, and you didn't fill it out and send it in. That's why we canceled her benefits. I said, yeah, I sent them all in.
And a few weeks later, her benefits stopped after the SSA decided, quote, she was no longer disabled. 9 Investigates told you that people all over the country were trying to get a hold of Social Security and had their calls go unanswered. The SSA is dealing with staffing shortages and underfunding, and it's making it difficult for them to keep up with customer service needs. In this case, like many others, Jennifer's benefits stopped, and for a year, they've been fighting to get them back. In that year, they were evicted from their home and have struggled every month to pay their bills.
We make just enough to pay our rent and have $38 left.
Without her money or with her money?
Without her money.
So $38 to pay for electric, food, gas, all of that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Everything. They stopped everything. Even stopped answering my phone calls.
So the family says they did send in the records they had to the SSA, but after that, they were told they needed something from the last year. The problem is they don't have those records because without Social Security, they don't get her Medicaid. So they have no insurance and cannot afford to take her to the doctor to get what the SSA now says they need. Now, there has been some movement on her case. The Groovers tell us that Social Security wants them now to get a blood test to determine if Jennifer has that extra chromosome. That has not happened yet. We have reached out to the Social Security, hoping we can get their issue settled. We will, of course, be following this one and keep you posted.
That is just so sad, and I can't believe that the SSA did that, and it's good that it's getting publicity, so hopefully something can be done about it, but that is just horrible. Comment down below on that. All right, so let's talk about this new bill. New Social Security bill calls for study of inflation impact. So the bill requires the U.S. Comptroller to create a plan to protect Social Security and Medicare benefits from inflation. So this bill is called the Safeguarding Social Security Medicare Act, and it requires the U.S. Comptroller General to create a plan to protect Social Security and Medicare benefits from the effects of inflation. So this is coming from Representative Zach Nunn from Iowa, saying the increased cost of living and record levels of inflation continue to put a financial strain on every American, especially those on Social Security and Medicare. It is necessary to carry out a study to understand how cost of living and inflation projections will affect Social Security and Medicare to provide recommendations to Congress. The study would determine the effect of inflation on Medicare and Social Security and require the Comptroller General to submit to Congress within 1 year recommendations on any legislative any legislative actions necessary to improve the ability to provide full benefits under such programs. The legislation, Nunn said in a statement, would require the Comptroller General to create a plan to address challenges created by inflation to ensure beneficiaries receive full benefits. As of May 2024, the Social Security Administration reported the average monthly payment of $1,788. With inflation skyrocketing, Americans are seeing their budgets squeezed, especially those on a fixed income. Changes in the cost of gas, food, and more erode the purchasing power of those on fixed incomes until their benefits are adjusted. The study requires under the bill isn't about improving Social Security and Medicare at all. This is coming from Maria Fries, Senior Legislative Representative at the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. What she said is there is nothing in the bill requiring anything directly related to Social Security or Medicare. It is pure study on government spending. So the bill doesn't say anything about improving benefits, just recommendations on how to improve the ability to provide existing benefits. So basically saying that it is a smokescreen. Further, the bill is a smokescreen to confuse seniors about Representative Nunn's position on these programs. Fries maintained, saying that as a member of the House Republican Study Committee, he has signed onto proposals to raise Social Security retirement age and reduce annual COLAs. The RSC's 2025 budget recommendations would be a disaster for both Social Security and Medicare. Fries continues saying, Congress doesn't need more recommendations on how to ensure the programs provide full benefits. The actuaries have, entire books worth of recommendations fully analyzed as to costs and benefits that can serve as a menu for Congress to improve the programs and ensure solvency. So basically, what's going on here is the bill is called Safeguarding Social Security and Medicare Act. So basically the first part of the article was talking about the benefits of it. Now I was reading the benefits, I did some research on this bill, and I'm like, well, what's it doing? You really need to pay for a study to be done to show that people in Social Security and Medicare are struggling. And then the second part was Social Security advocate Maria Fries saying how bad the bill is. Now, this bill isn't really doing anything. It is, as Maria Fries is saying, just kind of a smokescreen, saying, I guess for this one representative in Congress to say, hey, look, I put out the Safeguarding Social Security and Medicare Act to protect Social Security, but it doesn't do that at all. So I think there's probably a handful of these type of bills where representatives are just putting it out there, knowing it's not going to pass, but just saying that they did something for Social Security. So just want to give an update on this bill. Kind of strange. But anyways, that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Belle's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bell's Tip of the Day. I want to tell you that you could be anything that you want in the world. You could be, for example, you could be a veterinarian, take care of dogs, help dogs, or you could be a nurse. And you could help people, or you could be a doctor, or you could be like anything, as you want. You are your own self. You could be whatever you want when you get older. If you're older. Bye, that was Bill's Tip of the Day.
If you want to see the latest COLA adjustment and what the latest forecast is for 2025, with only a few months left before it becomes official, you're going to want to click this video up here. I'll give you the details on that as well as some other updates. So click that video now and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.